episode. Gas Network.
The family.
Bryce, XXV, Double I.
Rome.
D-Malo. Bro Flying.
T-Boogie, man.
Just the greatest sports show on the planet. La Familia. Hope y'all ready for a ride.
Can't wait to hear what you guys got to say. Let's get it. We back. Your favorite sports show, the best sports show on the internet. Internet's a pretty big place. Let's get it popping, man. That's your boy at Bryce XXV Double I, aka Mr. Big Leaguer, aka my mama's favorite gas panelist. As always, I'm joined by the gang. Start with my guy, bottom right. Introduce yourself.
Hey, T-Boogie, man. I'm here. You know what I'm saying? Wash your hands, wash your ass, defund all simps. If you watch the pre-show, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm feeling good. We got some good topics. I'm ready to go. Like let's get it, fellas.
Yes, sir. Bringing that energy early. I like it. And you know what, man? A part of me wants to bring the simp conversation to the main show, but I feel like we gotta leave it there where it's at. But because the content is crazy, you know what I'm saying? But we just gotta leave it there though. We might have to elaborate on that. That might have to be a recurring theme on the pre-show. You feel me? So let's keep it pushing, man. Bottom left. First of all, shout out to bottom left, man. We appreciate the shirt, bro. We appreciate that over here. Introduce yourself, sir.
Look, man, the closer we get to football season, the more you're going to see it. You got to get used to these W's. We're going to be getting a lot of them, man. But this is going to be a simp-free show, man. We got into that simp conversation on the pre-show. This is going to be a simp-free show. So I hope everybody that subscribed to the pre-show got their knowledge. If you need some knowledge, get that pre-show because we don't do nothing but drop knowledge in that. If you're brand new, you don't know who I am. My name is Young Rome 22. All the loyal listeners, followers out there, you already know what it is. You come for the sports, you stay for the culture. If you're new, hit that subscribe button, hit that follow button, man. Let's get it started.
Bro, they calling for you for the new D-line, bro. They said we can use you out there, bro.
Hey, I got some time, man. I'm not too far from John Allen myself. Right down the street.
Man. Hey, B, you wild, B. B, keep them coming, though, man. That's my guy. Last but not least,
What up, guy, man?
Top
left. Flying. GoodAssSports. And Rome, you funny you talking about simping because you was just simping talking about that dubs. That was low-key a simp comment. We gonna be getting a lot of them. Oh, okay, bro.
Yo, this man be simping for Jalen Hurts though the whole time on the show.
Bro, I'm not simping, bro. I'm not simping at all. Dak Prescott trajectory. I'm just saying. That's all I see.
Philly fans are the perfect example of a simp. They'll simp for their superstars, and then as soon as they don't get what they want, they throw the big fit. Oh, I never liked them anyway.
That's a fact, I've been saying for years. Nobody will turn on you like a Philly fan. Everybody knows that, though, bro. They boo Santa Claus, bro. How you boo Santa Claus?
Hey, man, it's called accountability.
All right, man. Let's get into it. First thing on the agenda tonight that we gotta get to the GOAT, the best, definitely one of the best tennis players of all time, possibly the most decorated tennis player of all time. I'd have to look that up though. Serena Williams. I think she's got the most Grand Slams on anybody, right?
I think so.
Serena Williams has announced her retirement, and I mean, what more can you say? But definitely the GOAT that we've seen in our lifetime. One of the most dominant athletes we've seen in our lifetime, and did so over such a long period of time. You know, had such a long span of being dominant, which is always to me the most impressive part, right? Because as an athlete, as your body breaks down, are you able to find other ways to compensate? You know, like we saw that with like a guy like Kobe. We've seen it with like other athletes as well. Like they get older, but they still elite because they playing with their mind. What did y'all think when y'all saw Serena retire? Because a part of me felt like she probably could have kept going and probably could have made a run or two, a couple more runs at some Grand Slams. Tim, start with you.
To be honest with you, I wasn't surprised. I say this ever since Serena had her child, I feel like she's really invested in being a mom. You know what I'm saying? Her shift from being an athlete to being a parent, especially for a woman, the toll it takes on her body to get back in shape. I feel like I heard her talk a little differently, and honestly, I wasn't mad at that. So I knew, once she had a kid, I could kind of tell, like, all right, she's accomplished enough, and she's ready for that next stage of her life, and I'm happy for her. So, she's still playing at a high level. So I'm maybe not the top. She's probably not the number one ranked tennis player, but in my mind, from what I've seen, with 23 Grand Slams, 14 doubles, 70 plus singles, like extremely decorated. What else are you playing for? And so I wasn't surprised. I'm happy for her, and I'm hoping she, kills it at her next endeavor, whatever that may be. And I kind of feel like she will.
Yeah, definitely. And it seems like she'll have the opportunity to essentially do anything she wants. I mean, I wonder if she's going to be one of those type of people that rather just disappear. Because she kind of strikes me as that a little bit. I mean, she likes being in the limelight a tad, but you don't get a ton of like in-depth Serena Williams interviews. You know what I mean? You never had that one-on-one Serena Williams, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't remember seeing that because I feel like it would have been a huge deal. So I wonder if, some people, especially some people that are truly great at their craft, sometimes they're like, yo, let me just get away from that limelight. And I wonder if that would be her.
Look, when they start making movies about you, you kind of on the back end. So,
but it's also wild for them to make a movie about you while you're still playing. That's Giannis too. Giannis has got a movie.
That shows the greatness. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like Serena's one of those, when we talk about greatest athletes ever, she's in that conversation there. That's a huge accomplishment. I can't take nothing from her.
She might be on that Mount Rushmore of at least greatest American athletes ever. If you start talking about athletes and you're talking about Mount Rushmore of athletes that ever roamed the earth, like there's so many people that we don't know and that other people would be considering. When it comes to American athletes, man, like, damn, Serena Williams ain't on that Mount Rushmore. Like,
yeah,
she damn near close. Like, if Tiger Woods is on there, Serena got to be on there. You know what I'm saying? And like, I feel like they're both probably close for the last few decades, we'll say, the last half century. Let's keep it pushing, man. Rome, what did you think about Serena Williams when you heard her retirement, man? Any thoughts?
Yeah, man, I was kind of surprised. I hear T what T saying about being a parent, and I definitely understand that side of it. But personally, man, I was kind of surprised, and I'm kind of hoping that she pulls like a Tom Brady type move and unretires here soon. Because like, to me, I'm not even that big of a tennis fan, but she kept my eyes on tennis. She got me interested in tennis. And I know I'm not just the only one. She brings a lot of attention to that sport, to the game. So it sucks to see her go, and it's almost like no one's ever going to be able to really fill those type of shoes. But it's like, how does the sport keep eyes on it or keep that type of, superstar appeal when you lose someone like we just said, they make movies about you while you're still playing. Like, that's next level. We're talking about her being one of the greatest American athletes of all time. So I mean, like, it sucks to see her, leave the sport. Because as someone who's not even a big tennis fan, I love to watch her play, and that pretty much says it all to me. So hopefully, maybe she, like we said, she can do what she wants. Maybe this is just a short retirement. She comes back for a little bit and retires again later. Who knows?
No, I'm with you though, bro. Like, she brought eyes to the sport, especially from our communities. To be honest, bro, I was never really a tennis fan until like Serena and Venus, and being young and your parents watching them, your grandma watching them, telling you about them. So like, that's really how it happened for me. It was older folks around me telling me about this story they had heard about, you know what I mean? Which was kind of the same with Tiger Woods too. But when I started watching them so much, after the women's matches, the men's matches would come on. So after Serena's match, then I got introduced to Roger Federer eventually. You know what I'm saying? And like at the time, I didn't care about no tennis at all. And I watched the male sport because I watched the women's sport. You know what I mean? And to this day, I'd rather watch the women's sport when it comes to tennis before I watch the male sport, which is one of the few instances I feel like that happens for me when it comes to athletics, you know? And yeah, I don't know. It's crazy to think that Serena and her sister Venus as well have had that big of an impact on that game, at least in this country. Scruff, what do you think about it when you heard she retired, man?
Honestly, I'm not surprised at all. Honestly, I mean, what else does she have to prove at this point in terms of competitive ability? You know, she's proven to be the greatest tennis player of all time. If not in the conversation, she is the GOAT. So there's nothing else to be proven. When you've won that many titles, you know, it's like another one at this point. Her brand, her image, what she represents is bigger than anything else greater that she can accomplish within the sport. She's already reached the apex at this point. So, you know, at this point, what she represents is a global brand. She represents a story. And really just a transition of the sport to come from where she came from and to become what she became. It's an incredible story and it's inspiring. So her as an image, as a role model, she'll never not be that. She'll continue to be a role model and she'll continue to use that to build her brand and continue on whatever her next chapter is. When she dropped the announcement, hey, she always come out with them little cute little pics with her and her little daughter and stuff. You don't think that's inspiring women everywhere? You don't think that's inspiring the next generation? You don't think that's inspiring the next Venus Williams, the next Serena Williams? Like, yeah, it is. So, I mean, you know, she's a legend. And really, that's all she has to do moving forward is just represent that. And she could do that she could do that by disappearing. Like, that would be interesting if she do that. But I think she'll continue on with a global business brand. And that's what I see for her future. But yeah, she's the greatest of all time. And she represents hope in the sport and really just a great role model for women. Now she's being a mother. And that's a full circle for women because she lived a fucking career to the greatest, the highest spectacle, and now she's going to live a life and be a mother. It's a beautiful thing. I think all women is going to look up to that.
Good point, man. Good point. That was well said. Well said, my boy. Shout out to Serena Williams, one of the best athletes, definitely, I think, of our generation. Easily when you talk about the last generation. And when I say our generation, I do use that pretty loosely. But I guess when I say that, I'm talking about the last 20 years. I'm talking about the last dub. You know what I'm saying? We can even say 25. Let's say 25, you know? So I try to count like our age and when we were old enough to really remember it. You know what I'm saying? And I got to go stretch it to 25 because we are all different ages. You know what I'm saying? But let's say the last 25 years, Serena Williams ranks where on athletes to y'all? Like, where do y'all rank her? Like, where does she stack up next to Tiger, next to LeBron, next to, like, just in your head? Not even, I might even ask you to look at the stats and, you know, and really, I'm not asking you to get too analytical with it.
Yeah.
Like, where in your head do you think she ranks off the top of your head? You don't even got to
rank. Top five without even having to think about it or look.
Top five?
Top five without having to look. She might be top 2.
I would put her above LeBron, but below Tiger.
Above LeBron, but below Tiger. I can see that. Because Tiger, yeah, her and Tiger to me are the most comparable, but I see what you mean, though.
She might be one, bro. Tiger, she's
she might be one.
She's definitely above LeBron.
And then remember, I'm saying greatest athletes, and I'm using that. I'm not using that loosely. When I say greatest athletes, I don't necessarily just mean best, but I feel like greatest, you have to be one of the best. If you had to at one point been the best really to be the greatest, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's fair.
And but greatest transcendence, you know, and like she's up there, right? T, what you think? Top 5?
You said last 25 years?
Yeah, but let's say the last 20. Let's say that's a quarter century.
That's about 2000. That's about since 2000, basically.
Yeah, like 97.
I'm a little older than you guys, so 2000 for me is like middle school. So I have a sharp memory of all of that, and I would say Rome hit the head on the nail, or hit the nail on the head. My bad. She's below Tiger and above LeBron and Kobe. What Serena did, right? So this is a little bit before y'all. The Sampras and Agassi. So tennis was kind of popular in the 90s. Sampras and Agassi was a huge deal. Agassi with the Canon Rebel camera and the ads, and
I remember that actually.
So eyes were kind of already on tennis, so to speak, but Serena brought an entire culture to tennis, and I have to put her behind Tiger only because Tiger was the sport. I don't think Serena ever was the sport, right? Serena and Venus were a huge part of the sport, if 80% maybe, you know what I'm saying? But there was always a Federer, there was always a Nadal, there was always another draw. Tiger was it.
Yeah.
Notice this is a segment, since you asked the question, there's a lot of people that didn't even know the rules to golf before Tiger. But just to be frank with you, a par, no one knew what a par was. I mean,
nobody knew none of that.
But at the same time, I'd say nobody knew what love was either, bro.
No, that's not true.
I don't think people knew what love was before. Like, I'm not talking about people like, especially like, I know, especially from the black community, bro. Like Venus and Serena Williams, bro. They brought so many people. Right. So many young black women to that sport, bro. And there's no Naomi Osaka without like Venus and Serena Williams, right? But show 100%. Me the Naomi Osaka of PGA, bro. You know,
ain't nothing.
Not to say like it ain't nothing, bro. And not to say that Tigers, not to say that what I just said diminishes Tigers' legacy at all. But it is to say that like Venus and Serena did something. Tiger didn't do.
It magnifies the greatness because it shows tangible results, and it actually shows.
It's deeper.
That's deeper.
It shows the cause and effect.
That's deeper because for the same reason,
absolutely a huge contributor to the greatness.
You got my man Tiger mixed up, bro. Tiger's in a different stratosphere. When Tiger didn't play, the whole sport took a ratings hit. Not one tournament. The entire sport took a hit. The Sports Center wasn't showing
they didn't show golf without Tiger.
Showing Mickelson and those guys, and Tiger ushered in a whole new class, the DJs and the Rorys and stuff. But like, I see what you're saying about Serena. She brought our culture into tennis because we didn't care after Arthur Ashe, right? But Serena and Venus were for real. I'm a little older. We didn't care after Arthur Ashe. Venus and Serena are phenoms, right? I got a book that I grew up with in my house. It was like the most up and coming influential black people. Venus and Serena are like 9 and 10 or 11 and 12 or something in the book, but they're in the book. So they brung our culture into tennis, but Tiger was the entire sport. And to a certain degree, he still is that sport. So it's no slight to Serena and Venus, but they're under Tiger. But two on this list still amounts to like bro,
it's all very nitpicky because they're all great.
I gotta add points to Serena for inspiring the next generation and showing tangible results. And I ain't gonna lie, I gotta deduct a little points from Tiger Woods for all his scandalous shit. You know what I'm saying? Keep it 100 with you, bro. At least
because although what Scruff's saying is mad subjective, he's well within his right to include it in greatness though. Because when you talk about the greatest athlete,
that's part of why LeBron's great.
Look, this is why I say this, right? This is why I say this, bro. We did our Mount Rushmore of the NBA a few weeks ago, right? And I put Bill Russell in mine for the exact opposite of scandals. You know what I'm saying? I put Bill Russell in mine because he was, he was the prime example of what it was to be an upstanding citizen. You know what I'm saying? And he was fighting for civil rights while he was doing these things. That's like the exact opposite of having a whole bunch of scandals to your name. You know what I'm saying? So like,
bruh,
is this greatness? You got to be able to count something else against it.
Is this the same Scruff Lion? Scruff, right now you're going to try to take down Tiger for his scandalous behavior. But meanwhile, Deshaun Watson's definitely going to get a job. He's definitely going to find his way through this. Don't worry about that. He'll be on the field. No, but we're going to tear down Tiger? Come on, bro. Come on.
What I'm saying is predictive of society, and I can't control what society does. But on the list of my greatness, I have total control over that. So, motherfucker, yes.
So Deshaun Watson's greatness, when we're ranking NFL QBs, that must take a hit due to his scandalous behavior.
He's obviously a deviant person. Period.
What did Goodell say? Predatory behavior.
That's the thing. Hold on. All right. We had hella Deshaun Watson combo, so let's bring it back to Serena one more time, though.
Yeah. Serena
Williams. So Serena Williams. Let's just get consensus, yo, of athletes that we could put above Serena. Because we got to put Mike.
Tom Brady, Mike?
And that's just Tiger
and Michael Jordan.
Jordan's
no
5 years.
97,
97. What did he do after 97 for?
That was last chip, right? So he would have had a chip. He was that guy.
Bruh, no.
We won't count him. We won't count him.
We'll go him out, I guess. In the last 25.
All right, cool. We'll go Tiger on the list.
Brady?
Brady's on the list, bro.
He's on the list, but he's not above. He's not above Serena.
He's not above Serena.
Bro, he like damn near Joe Biden's age, still winning Super Bowls.
Bro, he's definitely on the list.
Nobody is watching football because of Tom Brady.
He's not above Serena. He's not
above Serena.
Football is still football without Tom Brady, but you can't tell the story of football without Tom Brady, though, at the same time.
Well, you can't.
Football would still be football with or without him. Tennis wouldn't be what it is today without Serena and Venus Williams. You kind of got to package that together. But tennis wouldn't be what it is today without them, in my opinion. At least in this country.
I just feel like
very international.
Tiger Woods clones than we have Venus and Serena clones, or just Serena in general. We have more Tiger clones.
Yes, but maybe. And I see what you're saying, but when we're talking about it, we're talking about, influencing an entire culture of people to indulge in the sport. We still haven't had another black. It hasn't been another black.
What
golfer.
do you mean by that, T? Are you talking about
there's so many reasons.
Maybe he's talking about play style. Maybe he's talking about people's Tiger swing.
I don't know any. I don't know.
That is a fact.
Bro, besides
all the young golfers are literally Tiger clones. They're all mimicking this game. They might not look like us.
What's my man? My man Swole. Was it Bryson something? He's not mimicking. He's not mimicking Tiger at all. He's
how many
twice as far as Tiger.
To me, the reason we don't have black golfers is the same reason we don't have that many black baseball players. Like, how many golf courses are in the hood? Like, how many young black kids are picking up a golf club and going to a golf course? Where's that at?
Probably the same amount of tennis courts, Ron. What are you talking about?
Bro, there was tennis courts when I don't know. There's a tennis court in my head right now. Like,
they got
Bryson DeChambeau.
They got next.
Tiger, Serena, LeBron, Brady,
Dylon.
Hey, go ahead, bro. Hey, go ahead, bro. That Dylon. That threw me off for a second. I'm like, all right.
Who's that?
You got me.
Nah, I don't even know if you should put Brady in front of Cristiano or Messi, to be honest with you.
Especially not Messi. Messi might
Messi's up there.
Messi's
ahead of Brady.
I feel that.
Messi different, bro. Messi different.
So
Messi top five.
I think I've said this on the show before. You know what I'm saying? Brady is Brady, but Rome, you on the youth football scene. You see any kid that want to be Brady?
Nope.
And you know who else got to get in the conversation?
Mac Jones, and that's it.
Hey, look, bro, Floyd got to be in the conversation, bro. Floyd Mayweather got to be in the conversation.
Nah. We're taking all the scandalous behavior, and he falls right out the conversation.
Floyd's not. That was scandalous.
That's true.
What did he do that was scandalous? Didn't he serve 30 days for domestic violence? Oh, that's not scandalous?
I mean, it wasn't as loud as Tiger Woods.
It's probably definitely just saying all that. You got me.
Hey, I got no comment on Floyd. He's not on my list.
Floyd and Brady.
Floyd's top 10 though, bro.
Like
I'll give Floyd top 10.
Nah, yeah, he deserves his roses. He deserves his roses.
Was Mike Tyson in the last 25 years, or was that before this cutoff?
Nah, Mike Tyson would technically be the last 25 years. He had.
Then I'm going Mike Tyson, man.
He had his biggest fights. What, Evander Holyfield? That was after 97. Had to be, right? That was like 98.
He bit an ear.
If I'm throwing boxers in there, I'm going with Mike. I'm
might
going
have been 2000 it might have been 2000 when he fought Holyfield.
I don't know.
I can't remember, but that's
Floyd definitely in there though, because even if he's the man that you love to hate, like even if you don't like Floyd, you want to see somebody whoop his ass, and then you never really get that satisfaction, but like he's definitely in that conversation.
I'll say what makes with Floyd actually tangible entry for this list is his gross revenue that he's made.
Yeah, you got it. That's why I'm talking greatest, bro.
Like that's magnitude. The magnitude of that. Like you gotta factor that in. This guy made more money than anybody. He made more money than
Floyd's in that top 5.
He ran off with the bag.
He gotta be somewhere in there.
Well, all right, let's narrow down an actual top 5, bro. Let's narrow down an actual top 5.
All right. So we can all agree with Jordan in 1. That's agreement. We good with that.
Yeah, I guess.
All right. I mean, is it the last 25 years or?
I thought we were leaving.
Okay, let's put it like this. We're all agreeing that Jordan's in the top 5. Let's do it like this.
Jordan is one.
We ain't gonna rank him.
If he's in it.
What I'm saying
Okay, so we can all agree.
We're just gonna get our consensus out the way, and we can rank them later. So can Jordan the consensus?
Absolutely.
Serena's a consensus. It sounds like
she's definitely in it.
Absolutely.
All right, Serena's a consensus. Tiger's a consensus.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So really, bro, we got 2 spots up for grabs because I don't know if Brady's a consensus though. Is he's like, nah. Brady is Brady.
I don't think he's top 5.
I think he is because of the nobody's factoring in. Yeah, he doing what for old people. That's a demographic of people as well. You know what I'm saying? Old people are out there usually retiring for football way before Brady, bro, and he's doing it at a high level. So that's got to be mentioned. It's great. It's goatable.
Everybody get their last 2.
Brady.
All right. So who you got, Scrub? Brady and who else? Who's your last 2?
I'm about to go with Floyd, bro, because the money. Amount of money. Yeah, craziness.
I think my last 2, all-time athletes. I think I might gotta put Bolt up there too, though, bro.
Oh.
Yep.
I think Bolt might be in my. Bolt might be my 4, bro. Because Bolt went crazy for like in unprecedented fashion, bro.
Yeah, he was something different.
For a pretty long reign too. Had a crazy reign.
Yeah.
So Bolt might be in my top 5. It's like a couple. Floyd might be there.
Yeah.
It's Jake Paul.
Floyd not top 5, bro.
Hey, D Money, come on, bro.
I have to say Floyd out.
Give it another 25 years.
I'll take Floyd out now. I'll put Bolt in, Floyd out. That's how I'm going. Fuck it.
You got Bolt in, Floyd out?
Yeah.
So Bolt and Brady were your last 2, right?
Yeah, I gotta go with Brady because he's 45 and he's balling. So
I respect that. It's hard to argue with that. All right, Ron. Who you thinking for these last 2? Because we all got a consensus 3. And just to rewind one real quick, our consensus 3 of the top 5 athletes of the last 25 years: Serena Williams, Tiger Woods, Michael Jordan. Those 3 are in there no matter what. All right, Ron, let's hear your last 2.
I'm going 4 Messi, 5 LeBron.
I like it, bro. Because I was just thinking about LeBron, and I feel like Messi got.
I know. T is gonna shake his head until it literally falls off his shoulders. I know if Chris is somewhere watching, he probably just turned it off. But LeBron is top 5, bro. I know you don't want to hear it, but he's top 5.
Respectfully, I don't think LeBron belongs on this list.
No, sir, not at all.
He's in this conversation, man.
Yeah, I'd say he's in the conversation, but
I'm putting him over Floyd. Who else did you have, Scruff?
Brady? You putting him
over Brady? I'm definitely putting LeBron over Brady.
You're saying that LeBron's greatness in the sport of basketball
is better than Tom Brady's greatness.
Tom Brady's in the sport of
Yes.
football. That's a fucking lie.
Wasn't greater than
No.
What are you talking about, bro?
LeBron is better than Brady, bro. That's what I'm talking about.
All right, when LeBron's winning chips at 45, come talk to me.
LeBron carried that Cavaliers team.
Wait. Be careful what you wish for, Scruff.
Okay.
Yeah. First of all, that's still on the table. That's still on the table.
It's still on the table. We just talk about it then.
All right.
That's fine.
Rome, I'm happy you brought LeBron into this conversation because unlike these two guys, I think he deserves to be in the conversation. No question deserves to be in the conversation. The question is, does he make that top 5?
He does not.
I'm putting him over Brady. I'm putting him over.
The thing is, I feel like Messi was better at what he did than LeBron was. And I also feel like Bolt was better at what he did than LeBron was. And I feel like on a grand scale, they're probably greater as well. A little harder to quantify for us judging like a soccer player because that's international. That's international. Yeah. If you talk to people in Africa, man, they're talking about, Manchester United playing Liverpool. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like you talk to people anywhere in Europe, they know all these different leagues like the back of their hand, not just the league that their country represents. You know what I mean? They know La Liga, they know the Premier League, they know the Bundesliga. I don't know. I can't pronounce the German league. But y'all know what I'm getting at though. It's like they know them leagues like the back of their hand. And I feel like Messi's impact, Messi probably greater, bro. Messi has so many records, bro. Like, and soccer's been around. It's been around.
Forever.
So the amount of records he has is kind of crazy, bro.
Yeah, Messi's the Jordan of soccer.
Yeah.
Well, no, he's the next Jordan because Pele is the Jordan, bro.
Yeah.
Pele is the Jordan of soccer, man. If you ask me, and I feel like Messi is that next guy, since Pele, but he's like LeBron.
I'm putting LeBron over Bolt just for longevity.
I think I go our consensus top 3, and then I throw in Messi and I throw in Bolt.
That's fair.
So I feel like those two guys have been, top of their class. Messi won his first Player of the Year in 2009. It's like the Ballon d'Or. It's like the big award for Soccer Player of the Year. It's an international award, so it's the best player in the fucking world. He won it in 2009 and then won it again in 2021. That's crazy. That's a crazy reign right there, being like the best. You know what I'm saying? Being like the best or one of the best.
I think Bolt deserves that. I agree with you on that Bolt one because, like, man, the way he was winning those races was like crazy. Like, you see the pictures, like you're like, bro, these guys are like nowhere near this guy. You know what I mean? Like that's.
Damn.
Straight domination. See his
your
internet speed ain't as fast as Usain Bolt though.
Not at all.
Hey yo. Hey,
that was a good joke.
Yo, T, who you got in that last 5? I think you're the only one we haven't really heard about their last 5, man. The last 2 for that 5.
I think this is worth something. Like, we should make a graphic and put it out online. Like, because when I think about it, right, there's so many great athletes. I mean, I'm talking Tony Hawk, Shaun White, Michael Phelps, Simone Biles. Like, there's so many great athletes within the last, just the 2000s alone. But for me, I gotta probably go Kobe and Bolt. And I'm gonna tell you why. Kobe, to me, right? We listen to a lot of great guys, LeBrons and the Bradys. Kobe is more iconic, right? Kids know Kobe. The pros still wear his shoes. When his wife speaks, she has the world's attention. Kobe is iconic. So I want to throw Kobe on that list, and not just because I'm a Kobe fan. And Bolt is also another international icon. I mean, what he means for track in Jamaica, what he meant for track in the whole West Indies, and how long he was dominant, how dominant he was. I mean, finishing races, jogging across the line, and breaking records that have never been broken before and still haven't been touched. Bolt is different, man. You can't talk bad about Bolt in Jamaica. You can't.
You can't, bro. You be looking crazy.
Like you asking for, you know what I'm saying? You asking for trouble. Like it's not too many places and too many players. Like you can badmouth Kobe here, and you might be talking to a LeBron fan. They might agree with you. You can't go too many places and badmouth Usain Bolt, and people they're gonna be looking at you sideways. So I'm gonna throw Bolt there. But I think this is a great discussion. I think this is worth some sort of poll, graphic, something. I'm curious to see.
Yeah, we do gotta put something up.
And not only is it worth the graphic for this top 5 we talking about, it's also worth us diving into a top 10 eventually. So let's table this. And you know what, yo? I was thinking when you was talking about Kobe T, like, yo, who else besides Randy Moss with Mossum got something that's like iconic where people say it when they do something? Who else got that? You know, who else has a fucking like verb, bro? You know what I'm saying? Who else has a verb besides Randy Moss and Kobe, bro? Like everybody would just walk by and be like, Kobe. Like if you shoot a piece of paper into a trash can, bro, you go and say, if you say anything after, you go and say Kobe, bro.
That's iconic.
That's iconic, yo. You can't take that away from the man. That's iconic right there.
Nobody
had that before his passing. You know what I mean? So like. That's real. That's being an icon living too. So man, R.I.P.
True.
That's a good discussion though. We're gonna have to get into a top 10 about that eventually, bro. Because I feel like you started naming some names like Michael Phelps, who deserves his flowers. Definitely. And then like, you know, if Kobe doesn't make the top 5, because it didn't sound like that was consensus, but if we had to knock him down, if our consensus list knocks him down to 6, 7 for Kobe, does LeBron make that list? Like, are we, you know what I'm saying? Who else do we
T gonna have LeBron at number like 28 on the like come on.
At the end of the day, Rome, let's be respectful to the game of all these different sports, right? I know we was talking ish about different sports before, but there's many sports, right? Yeah. And LeBron is not the greatest basketball player of all time, right? We can all agree on that.
Right? We have the greatest basketball player of all time ahead of him.
Okay, then. So then how many more basketball players can be in the top 10? Not that many.
Good point, though. Good point. I see what you're saying. Because it's like, yo, are we giving extra weight to the sport of basketball?
Right.
But at the same time, though, you have to. But yo, but Scrub, if you're talking greatness, and basketball is one of the highest revenue generating sports, and also dips into fashion and dips into like culture more than probably any other sport, then that contributes to greatness too. So it's hard to cap greatness, bro. Like I gave you the
I would say out of all the sports, that basketball will probably have the most players on the list.
Yeah, I mean, just a cultural impact alone, like I feel you. And we also are looking at this from an American-centric viewpoint, so we got to keep that in mind. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, we're gonna be doing that. Wait, what's this? Don't forget Krista.
Yeah.
GOAT in her sport and inspired future generations. I agree, T. I still yell Kobe.
That's
when
a new leave.
Everybody does that. Hey, shout out to D Money, man. We on the same page with that.
Corinne Steffens, she crawled so Brittany Renner can run.
Bro, Corinne Steffens.
Nah, it's not Brittany Renner. It's Tiana Trump. Hey.
Corinne Steffens be a billionaire on OnlyFans.
Yeah.
She came out in the wrong generation for sure.
She did. Man. She was ahead of her time.
She could have.
Girls Gone Wild. There's a bunch of little ahead of their times, but
yo, I was watching the documentary. That was wild.
Where's Shaquille at? I don't know, dude. Shaquille don't make the top 5, top 10.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how many basketball players don't make the top 10?
The top 10, like greatest. Damn, do you put Shaq over Bron?
Hell no.
I'm surprised G ain't throw a baseball player at us.
That's a good point.
Derek Jeter probably deserves to be in this conversation too.
The problem is with the greatest baseball players is a lot of them are taking it up. You know what I'm saying? Because Alex Rodriguez would have been a prime candidate for this list. But
the way T was saying, you can't badmouth certain people. You can't really badmouth Derek Jeter in certain areas of New York.
Put him in the top 10 athletes of all time.
Yeah, I don't know if he's top 10, but he's probably. I feel like we would get some debate on that.
One of the most respected athletes,
Derek
for
Jeter
sure.
Suffers from the same thing that Brady suffers from. Like, bro, it's hard for those are teams that have so many players. It's hard for one guy to specifically dominate, right? You got to attribute a whole lot of other factors.
Yeah,
Like,
that is the problem with football and baseball. It's very hard to, like, Randy Moss, as great as he was, it's hard for him to stand out. You know what I mean? He's not gonna be able to accomplish what a basketball player is.
Yeah, if you're being honest, in sports, it is hard to quantify how much of your contribution went to winning. And I'm gonna change the topic here just a little bit, because like this reminds me of the thing we were talking about in the group chat the other day with Mike James, man, former Nets player. He's been bounced around the league a little bit, and he's a good player in his own right. But he came out and basically, paraphrasing here, you know what I'm saying? So you're gonna look the quote up on your own, but basically was like, you know, Steph is a little overhyped, I guess. I should say, right? I mean,
called him one-dimensional.
He called him one-dimensional. There we go. He called Steph Curry one-dimensional and said he felt like his top 5 players in the NBA, if you drop them on any team, they're going to do what they do on any team. But Steph Curry might not be the same in another system, in another team, or, he might not have the same impact. And we had this conversation. I was like, bro, I feel like you drop Giannis on any other team in the league, any 29 other teams in the league, they're a finals threat, bro. Like even if you take away their best player that's currently on their team and replace him with Giannis, they're still a finals threat. If you add Giannis to any other team in the league, they're a finals threat. I don't feel that way about Steph Curry, bro. Like, am I off about that? Like, how do y'all feel about that? What Mike James said? I want to just touch on this topic real quick, and then we'll keep pushing.
Man, this made me sick, man. I'm tired of this stuff, bro. I really am, bro. I'm so tired of this stuff, bro. Like, when you great, they always just gonna find a way to discount your greatness. You know what I'm saying? Like, Steph Curry he obviously had a great season. His team's great. You know what I'm saying? You talk about the system. All right, he's a system guy. Oh, okay. Motherfucker, he is the system. What are you talking about? He's Steph Curry. What do you mean? So I'm saying, yeah, he is the system. The whole system was built around him. Okay. Yeah, you could drop Giannis on any team because he's a fucking freak of nature. You could also drop Giannis probably in the National Football League, and he'd probably be an outstanding player in that too. So, like, what are we talking about here, bro? I'm not taking flowers away from Steph Curry.
Let me ask you a question, right?
Yes.
You remember when back in the day, I say like the late 90s, early 2000s, even to the time with the Redskins at the time, the 2000s, Mike Shanahan had his own blocking scheme. And it was like whatever running back Mike Shanahan was plugging in there, bro.
Yeah,
whatever running back he was plugging in there was doing numbers. You know what I mean? And they was getting, because it was that system, he could find the perfect fit for that system. As long as he had the right old line, it was 1,000 or 1,500 yard season, close to a 2,000 yard season for a lot of guys that ended up being no names outside that year or two, right? Do you think there's any chance that not saying that that's Steph Curry's situation, but do you think there's any chance that the system and the surroundings benefit Curry more? Because we did see when everything wasn't bright and sunny over there, they was in the playing game and got bounced. So like you don't think anything of that?
I think I think obviously the system helps, but I think that you can't like say that because the system. Okay, then create a better system then. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it is. Right. Like, that's part of the strategy of sport. Sport's not just based on athleticism, who's the strongest, fastest, beastliest player on the planet. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of other factors that go into sport. Strategy and strategic is part of it. Having clutch ability is another element of sport. You know what I'm saying? All these things factor in. So I'm not taking away anything from Steph Curry. And I think, yeah, you're right on that statement. Yeah, you could throw Giannis on any team. You know what I'm saying? But you could say the same thing about Shaq, in any era of that basketball, the same type time. But, we wasn't putting him in the top 10. It's just, I don't know. I'm not trying to discount Steph. I think you could put I think you put him on a different team and he'd be still great. But, I mean, yeah. It's all part of it's just like some bull. It's a bullshit conversation.
All right, we won't gotta stay too long on it.
I'm not saying no shade. No shade.
But what I want,
and Mike James has no right to be talking about Steph Curry. Let me add
that. Chime in, T. He has as much of a right as you do, Scruff.
I got a question.
Steph Curry. All right, he's an Uber. Like, you can't tell this man his right to talk about Steph Curry.
I'm giving flowers. I'm not taking them away.
Bro.
All right, what do you think, T?
I got a question. If you trade right now, or let's say last season, Steph Curry for Trae Young, what happens for both teams? What does that mean for both teams?
What does that mean for both teams?
Straight up, before the season.
You know what I honestly think about that? I think that the Warriors are about the same. Maybe they don't win the chip. But
they're a little bit worse, bro.
They bought the same team, but the Hawks, they will still be that same whatever first round exit squad they was this past year, bro. Because they had to do it with they needed the perfect storm to do it.
That's what I'm kind of asking. If you trade Trae Young and Steph Curry right now, right? Because we want to assume that Steph Curry's in a different atmosphere as Trae Young, and he created Trae Young.
He did create.
What does Steph Curry do to the Hawks, and what does Trae Young mean for that Warriors team that also has Jordan Poole, that also has Klay Thompson, that also has Jonathan Kuminga, that also has, you know what I'm saying?
Look,
the Hawks don't
you know that Trae Young wouldn't exist if Steph Curry didn't exist?
No, that's a fact. But I also agree with T's point, yo. The Hawks would not be that much better, bro. But the Warriors would be about the same. Maybe they don't win the chip, though. Maybe they don't win the chip.
The Warriors wouldn't be.
So then they're not about the same. Then they're not about the same, bro. See, Scruff is right, because the problem with this conversation, man, is it just undercuts Steph Curry too much. And I get what the point is. The point is that, like, Steph's in a perfect situation. The system benefits Steph. His teammates, it's the perfect storm. I think I said that to T on when he retweeted it. Like, it's a perfect storm, and you can't really be mad at that. Like, right. Steph has everything that he needs, and he's cooking with it. So that's not his fault. It's not his fault that the system works. I hear what everybody's saying, though. If he went to the Hawks, they don't automatically become a championship team. I understand that, but maybe they should implement the system that Golden State implements, because it seems to make him a championship player with the Warriors. So I just feel like we got to watch where we go with these right. Steph conversations, because right. it ends up becoming, oh, we trade him for Trae Young straight up. Like, he's better than Trae Young, bruh. Let's not do that.
Yeah, first of all, that would never happen. Second of all, it's all this hypothetical nonsense. And see, these are just not facts. These are just not, they're not reality, bro. There's some like fantasy, shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to discount a guy because of the situations. Like, I'll put an example like this in a way that the fans can understand. Yo, everybody say Geraldo's their favorite panelist, right? Let's create a show with Geraldo by himself, and let's see how smoothly that joint runs. He's lucky he's on the Warriors. You know what I'm saying? It's a process. T is a fucking mastermind, switcher of conversations, but he needs somebody that's gonna fuel that shit. Bryce and T together, you get them in the same room. It's you know what I mean? You're manipulating the conversation. You're great at your shit, man. But together, it's all the collective, bro. And that's part of the greatness, bro.
Right. That's a part of the greatness, but is that equal to somebody that did it all on their lonely? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the real question about it. That is greatness. But it's like, let's say our show gets an Emmy and we start getting Emmys for the best part or something, for the best. We already have gotten awards for the best, sports and culture podcast in the nation. So shout out to the people that ranked that, because that was lit. But imagine, let's say we get the Emmys, right? Could we be like, yo, we greater than Oprah? It's like, yo, Oprah did that joint on her dolo, bro. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, how do you weight that? Or do you weight that?
Yeah, and that's part of this.
They're just different.
Bro, you add no weight to being system transcendent. Giannis is the system, no matter where he goes. You know what I'm saying? There's a couple guys that LeBron, Embiid, like, no matter where they go, they are the system. I don't care what you're running. I don't care what plays you're calling. These are the guys.
Yeah, but so how does Steph not make that list? Because the system is passing, moving the ball, moving yourself, and shooting threes and creating open looks. It's like literally the same thing they do in the WNBA.
I think that was to you, Scruff. That was from G.
Oh, got you.
Compare them boys to the WNBA.
Yeah, no, you ain't nothing without your entourage, G. You feel me? This guy don't
Everybody knows that G is the favorite gas panelist. Everyone knows.
You know what I mean?
Nah, G's Q rating is through the roof, bro.
Yeah, it is. It really is. It really is.
You know, y'all watch what's that joint? Damn, what's the show we watch on Amazon Prime? The superhero joint. The Boys.
The Boys.
You know, in The Boys, where they had the little rating for each superhero, where they're like, you dropped within the black community about 10 points.
Your QR rating's going down. Yeah, you're losing points here.
They was giving live updates of like how that shit was dropping. That shit was crazy. I feel like Jesus through the roof.
I do want to say this, right? I do think all of this banter, the Mike James, this entire conversation, like Scruff saying, I do want to agree with Scruff a little bit. Like, if I land in the perfect storm, I land in the perfect storm, no matter how or why, right? I'm the chosen one. Hey,
and if you stay in that perfect storm, who's to say you couldn't do it anywhere else?
I mean, I don't know, but if we need a hypothetical to figure out how other guys are better than me, I'm pretty great.
Right. I agree.
So I don't want to, like you said, I don't want to undercut Steph here, but I do want to say Mike James shouldn't have been vilified, and I do understand where he was coming from.
Yeah, if you go watch the clip, I don't understand why people were coming at him. He didn't even say anything disrespectful towards Steph, or like he explained it in the way that we're explaining it now, for real.
Yeah, you know, people not watching the explanation wrong. They taking that 3 seconds. Yeah. They gonna take 3 seconds and run with it.
Yeah,
that's the sad thing about it. But that was well said by all you guys right there, man. I think we all are on the same page that Steph is an all-time great. You know, it's not a question. He might be in that top 10 we were talking about earlier. Who knows?
Absolutely.
No, I mean like when it's all said and done. His chapter's not finished being written. Like,
hey, neither is LeBron's, and y'all was ready to kick him out the top 5.
But the reason we can talk about LeBron is because he's got a little more, I think, when it comes to greatness than anybody else in basketball right now.
I mean, how great is he really? If he's so great, then how come Steph Curry got so many damn chips? Because if he was so great, he wouldn't be winning any.
And that's when you're quantifying.
When Jordan was on top,
you're quantifying it by one factor.
So then,
quantifying it only by one factor, and that's winning chips. And I think
do we need to boost Brady then? Because a lot of people didn't eat on his watch.
Yeah, that's why I have him in my list.
Not true.
And he's
that
old.
Is true. People threw Matt Ryan in the trash after he lost to Brady. People act like he was never good.
Wait, hold on. A lot of quarterbacks ate when Brady was there. Brady just lasted so long and won chips over such a long period of time.
Right.
Like Brady's first chip was in what, like 06 or something?
Right. Yeah.
I think it was 01 actually.
Bro, 01 for his first chip, and his last chip is in what? 21 or 20, whatever it was. Like that's a crazy range.
Or something.
Longevity is definitely a major variable in this conversation.
Man. Damn, man. We're gonna have to bring this conversation back for the top 10. So, fellas, let's make sure we keep that on our mind for a future show with that. But we keep it pushing from this. Is right. Let's keep it pushing from this Steph Curry, Mike James, and let's move on to y'all's guy, everybody's guy, KD, man. KD, how we feeling about KD? How are we feeling about KD right now, man? Are we feeling like are y'all mind changing at all as more things come out about this situation? Is like, Rome, I'm starting with you, man. Where you stand on KD right now?
I mean, I think I said it earlier in the offseason. His legacy is gonna be the guy that, like, we're all gonna, like, we were just talking about greatest athletes of all time, right? There was a point in time where it was KD or LeBron, like, who was better? I don't think that conversation really is the same, or maybe you could say who's better like right now, but who's greater as far as their careers. I don't think KD's career is even comparable to Bron's right now. Like, and it's because of stuff like this. Like, this is how we'll remember KD. We'll remember him for saying, fire this guy, fire that guy, or I'm out, or I'm gonna go to this team. I'm gonna bring this homie with me. I'm gonna bring that. Like, am I gonna ever remember a championship win, like a signature, you know what I mean, game? Am I gonna remember, like it's always something with KD, whether he's yelling at a fan or yelling at the owner to get rid of the coaches. But I just want KD to ball, man. I don't even really want to talk about KD again until the season.
Yeah, I feel you. It's just wild that, like, you know, and I talk about it all the time, Rome, and you always hold me accountable, which I do appreciate, because I am about the power to the players, movement, as I call it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the tide has shifted, and the players have more control than anybody in an organization, as like we've seen in the history of America with things like unions. That's why unions exist, right? To give workers power, right? And, you know, players have gotten to the point where they're more powerful. And, you know, another thing too, you're never going to be like less powerful than someone that you make more than, right? So if you got a player making 40 million, the coach make 6 million, what the hell? You can't really tell him what to do. He's going to tell you how you want to do it, and you got to coach him up in that way. You know what I mean?
But what are you doing with the power? You know, that's the problem with KD. It's like, what are you doing? Okay, so players have power now. So what are you doing with it? You just running them up. You turn into King Joffrey.
And that's the question: has he reached that point? Do we feel like that, or is it like,
absolutely,
do you reserve or scrub though? Do you reserve the right to get in a situation and realize these folks not who I thought they was? Like, do you not reserve that right? You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like that right. I feel like KD reserves that right, bro. Which is why I feel like I'm not as mad as a lot of people I'm seeing out here. You know what I'm saying, in the sports spheres about this.
Nah, I think ultimately, first thing I'm gonna start with this. I'm gonna quote the 48 laws of power, right? And they say law 5 is that so much depends on your reputation. You need to guard it with your life, right? And that's the reason KD is going down. Words in the views and the eyes of greatness and everything that we're talking about. Because what we've seen from him is that he's run amok, right? You go to Brooklyn, yeah, he got people over there. He say, yeah, green light on the coach. Yeah, I like Steve Nash. Bring him in. Steve Nash is our guy. Yeah, fuck yeah. They making comments right before the end of the season. Yeah, we're going to get together with our guys, yada, yada. Now this man say he wanted him to get a trade. Then he said he need to fire the GM and the coach. That's craziness, bro. Organizationally speaking, from an employee to do that. Imagine, bro, I pull up in here and some shit like that. Like, I'm working for somebody, and I'm like, yeah, I'm the top employee here, but you want to keep me, you're going to have to fire the secretary, you're going to fire HR, and the cleaning guy don't like him, he looked at me funny. What kind of organization? How do you look at the organization? Yeah, I'm going to need you to fire, your whole chief of staff, I'm going to need him to go. You know what I'm saying? And like, not even like small positions. We're talking about the 1 and 2 in your organization. Besides the owner, we're talking about 1 and 2 on the hierarchy of positions. He basically going in there and saying, hey, fuck your hierarchy, fuck your organization. And essentially, I am the organization. Y'all not going to trade. Fire the GM. You know, they just gave him an extension. They just gave him an extension 3 weeks ago. You saying they're going to give this man an extension and then KD's going to call for this job and they're going to fire him? How absurd would that be, bro? That goes beyond fundamental business practices, bro. That's absurd, bro. It's it's crazy. So the fact that he came in and said, "Oh, I need you to fire the coach and the GM all right, the coach, okay, I would have let him go with the coach, but the GM too, he just got his extension. Like, that's not gonna happen, bro. So that's like absurd, bro. The ego is crazy. Has he earned that right? Nah. As a matter of fact, he signed a 4-year, 5-year contract. So if he wanted to earn that right or whatever, he didn't want to have no obligations or whatever the case may be, he should have signed a quarter sort of contract, man. You know what I'm saying? Could have been doing what LeBron was doing. He could have held his leverage. Right now, he doesn't have leverage. But he acting here trying to act like he got all the leverage in the world. And I'm like, nah, brother, you want a contract. So unless you're going to Ben Simmons it for the next 4 years, bro, you're going to have to show up and play ball, bro, and shut the fuck up.
Hey, Scrub, go ahead, bro. Yeah, at the end, bro. All right, well, Scrub, first off, calm down. All right, but second off, like, damn. So you tell me you don't reserve the right to realize something's not what you thought it was. And
you mean to me, word means nothing these days. Contractual obligations mean nothing.
Bro,
you signed the contract, man.
Bro. Remember,
and you made your obligation to be there, bro. You got everything you need.
You sign a contract in the NBA, you're doing just that. You're signing a contract in the NBA. Because anytime your contract, you get traded to another team, and it's not like don't shit change in the contract. You know what I'm saying? Another team just picks up that contract.
But
so like they can't just trade your contract to fucking Lidos. You know,
but the organization has the right to do. The organization has to do what's right by them. So at the end of the day, it's like, all right, if me getting rid of you is going to derail my entire organization, then what are we doing? We running business, or we catering to your demands? That's not how a business runs. A business has needs.
But we're entering a space where if you get one of those top players, you better be ready to cater to demands. And that's where we're going with this, bro. And that's what people.
And that's a problem. And that's
you know what?
problem.
The Nets were cool with it when they got them dudes, bro.
And now that's the problem. That's the problem.
If you the Nets, you can't play both sides of this.
And that's the problem. They started out, they gave them too much power. Hey, if the Nets, all right. So here's I'm gonna bring it back full circle. If the Nets fire Steve Nash and the GM on command of KD, they simp it straight up like that. Because you ain't gonna be out here doing all that, bro. You out here like literally. You know what I'm saying? Like literally just surrendering.
If they fire everybody to keep KD and just bringing like a random like KD's old coach from Texas as the head coach or something, you know what I mean?
Look, you're applying business principles and ethics.
This is business, bro. It's a business,
right?
First.
And KD is doing business, right? Because this is nothing more than what Harden did in Houston. KD's not willing to get fat and wear the fat suit, so he's trying to use the leverage that he has, right? He's trying to hold court, the court of public opinion, right? We know the fans are going to like KD more than they like Sean Marks and Steve Nash, regardless of if Sean Marks is a great GM or not. We can't get another KD. We can get another Sean Marks. We can get another Steve Nash. We can't get another KD. And I don't really like Sean Marks, but you were able to get Kyrie, Harden, and KD on the same team. I cannot take that away from you. But you started with the 48 laws of power, and I think this is KD's issue, right? We can't rank you in the greatness because we want to see our heroes face adversity. We don't want to see our heroes run from adversity, right? Some of our favorite movie heroes, some of our favorite TV show heroes, bro, they're great because the villain was strong. You know what I'm saying? The villain was great. Joffrey was crazy. You know what I'm saying? So Jon Snow had a lot to go through. We need a good villain. And KD has kind of run, like, Golden State was a great villain, but you joined the Warriors, and now you're in Brooklyn. It's almost like every time you get adversity, you're trying to run from it. And I don't think KD's trying to run from it. I think he's just trying to use business, right? This is my leverage. I have the leverage of public opinion, but it does hurt his reputation, which in turn hurts his legacy and his greatness. And I do think KD is in a spot where he's playing for legacy. So you need to do things that help your legacy. Like, bro, KD should be sitting down and saying, we're going to win with the Nets, and I don't care who you put on what team, we're going to go through you. I don't care what Kyrie wants to do. I don't care if Ben Simmons suits up. I'm KD, and I'm going to win. But that's not what we're seeing out of our hero. We're seeing, I don't really like how things have worked out. I thought it was this, and now it's this. We don't want to see that. We don't like that. We don't like that. We don't want our hero making excuses. So yeah, KD is trying to hit reset on franchise. That's exactly what he's trying to do. And we all know if you play the
hilarious, bro.
You in franchise mode and things get, man, I'm gonna just start over, man. And that's what KD is doing, and that's the problem. I think he needs to sit back, buckle in with the Nets, and figure out how to make that team better. I mean, Kobe asked for a trade at the time. So it's not a knock to ask for a trade, but at the same time, Kobe didn't join a team that he lost to. You know what I'm saying? KD's history has not afforded him this moment, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but Kobe didn't say, yo, fire Phil Jackson.
So let me throw this out there. Because this is my big problem with KD saying, fire the coach and the GM. If they do that, right, and then the Nets decide, KD says, I want Bryce as my head coach and Scruff as my GM. Do y'all take that job?
Well, if he does that,
Because
then I've totally changed my narrative about KD.
Essentially, your job now though is to kiss KD's ass. Because if KD decides halfway through the season, you know what, Bryce, that was a terrible fucking call. I want your ass fired. Scruff, I didn't tell you to sign these motherfuckers. You're out of here. That's what it's a terrible precedent. It's a terrible precedent to say.
That's facts, bro.
It means nothing too. Because
that's 100% fact.
He endorsed Steve Nash. That was his pick for head coach. So we got in the situation by listening to a dumbass. So why are we
don't know
now?
But that's the biggest problem with that's one of the biggest problems. My bad, T. Go ahead.
We do not know if Steve Nash was his pick.
We don't know that, but that's
everything that I heard. That was what I heard.
Consensus agreement, bro. That Kyrie and KD wanted Steve Nash. But the biggest
KD
problem
because they had a relationship in Golden State. Remember?
One of the biggest problems the NBA faces, though, bro, and I always believe this, is the fact that, and maybe it's just a sports thing, most sports at this stage, that the coaches make so much less than the players, bro. If you're a player, bro, that's and I make more than you. If I'm the player and I make more than you and you the coach, the respect level is already it's not really even. It's not really neck and neck, bro, unless they're an NBA legend or unless they prove, you know what I'm saying? I feel I don't know, bro. I feel where we are now with it makes it real tough for coaches, yo.
Yeah, but
very true.
Because the discrepancy is crazy at this point.
To be fair, coaches are not the commodity, bro. It's the players. If I'm KD, I have accomplished more than Steve Nash. So unless you have a Greg Popovich, bro, I can tell Steve Nash, I'm not running your play. You need to get traded. I thought you was ass with the Suns. I can do whatever I want.
It's too much power, man. It's too much power.
You think it's too much power? I feel like it's not too much power yet, but it's a lot of power. And that's what it should be, bro.
I think
why?
Not everybody needs that kind of power, man. Just because some players can handle that and make the right decisions, make the right moves, LeBron, doesn't mean that everybody else can.
Bro,
rest in peace to my guy Bill Russell. I had him on my Mount Rushmore. We did that for NBA a few weeks back, and one of the reasons was because he was a player coach, bro. With the amount of power the players have right now, I'm surprised we haven't seen the player coach be brought back. Because why the hell not? Who they gonna listen to more in the huddle, bro? Tyronn Lue or LeBron James, bro? And I rock with Tyronn Lue. But who they gonna listen to more, Frank Vogel or LeBron James, bro?
Vogel.
Even when he's not in the game, even when LeBron not in the game, bro, they gonna listen to LeBron, bro. Come on, bro.
No, they're not gonna listen to LeBron. He was in that terrible ass Space Jam movie.
Right. That's an excuse. They listen to LeBron, bro, in that situation, and I feel with the amount of power, they already started. I guess it's the reverse nowadays. You got player GMs instead of player coaches now.
I guess what they say though.
Yeah.
I think wise man said they say you lose them how you get them, right? And they got KD. They changed the Nets organization changed everything about themselves to be to do everything for this KD. Oh yeah, they had a great coach actually. Kenny Atkinson's a great coach.
You know what,
Kenny Atkinson. If I'm the Nets, I say, all right, you want to build with us? We're gonna build the Nets way. This is our coach. This is the guy we have. We're not gonna clean house and build everything your way, because that's then you just literally have no backbone. That's what I'm saying. You get in a relationship and you change everything about yourself. All of a sudden, Scruff got to shave his beard and shit. What the fuck? Why would I do that? You know what I mean? Changing everything about yourself to accommodate the players, it's a bad precedent. And now the Nets are already way too deep on that.
I think you can do more culture building if you're in an NFL situation where you're doing profit sharing, right? No matter what the Browns make, no matter what the Packers make, we're sharing profits. The NBA, you have to sell tickets. You need to bring in revenue. So I understand your culture, but sometimes we need Gilbert Arenas versus trading him when we know he's a knucklehead. Sometimes we need a KD and a Kyrie versus having a team that's built to win and maybe only get to the first round of the playoffs. You got to sell tickets, bro. The name of this game in the NBA is sell tickets. And one interesting thing, though, before it escapes my mind, is KD is calling for the jobs of a GM and a coach. Why isn't he calling for Ben Simmons to play?
Hey man, you gotta go for something realistic, bro.
That's another conversation for another day, man. We ain't getting into Ben Simmons tonight because y'all know how it goes when we start.
He's trending today, though.
But let's keep it pushing, man. Passes KD, so I think y'all all gave some valid points to KD conversation. I just wonder how soon it'll get resolved, man. And I feel like this is gonna be something that drags out to the last possible moment. I remember when it first started, Scruff was like in the group chat, he was like, "I guarantee you this deal gets done before the end of the night."
I said he'll be in Phoenix by dinner time.
Greasy, bro, like he had sources.
I thought that's the kind of power he had, bro.
Nah, he had that type of power, bro.
He's too old for that type of power.
Yeah, they said, hold up, chill, bro. You know, we got to humble you one time. But we'll see. My guy, Scribb, shout out to my guy, Chris Scribble, man. He been saying that, KD's going to end up playing for the Nets. And he's been saying that for a minute now, like, from the jump. So, like, maybe he was right all along. We'll see about that, though. Let's keep it pushing, man. I got a quick rapid fire for you guys. We got a new little form of content here, man. Where we're gonna run through some camp headlines, and shout out to my guy Rome because he came up with this segment, man. It's called Big Deal or No Deal. Y'all seen the game Deal or No Deal? It's not like that at all. But Big Deal or No Deal, you pretty much gonna tell me if this headline is a big deal. Or if it's no deal at all, we shouldn't have to worry about it. So let's run through them real quick. First off, Jerry Jones says he has choices when talking about head coach Mike McCarthy. Big deal or no deal, Rome? Let's hear it.
Oh, I think that's a big deal, bro. I think that's a big deal. Who opens up the start of their whole season talking about, oh, by the way, like, I know I chose you as my head coach, but I had lots of choices, lots of options. Like, I could have chose Sean Payton. I could have chose this guy, but I really like you. That's why I picked you. Like, no other owner, like the Eagles didn't start off their opening presser for the 2022 season saying, we really like Jalen Hurts, but, we looked at all these other QBs. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. Like, if I'm Mike McCarthy, I'm taking that as I'm on the hot seat. Is when get to at least the NFC Championship, or you out of there. Like that's clear. The writing's on the wall.
Right.
Word. All right. Scrub, deal or no deal?
Definitely a big deal, man. That's crazy, bro. How you gonna say that to your coach before the season start, bro? I know you're trying to keep him in check. Like, all right, basically, like, yo, if you don't win, you're going. But that's like, yo, you at the wedding, man. You at your wedding. Like, yo, I had a lot of choices for this right here. I had a lot of options. You know what I'm saying? But I went with you, so don't fuck it up. You know what I'm saying? Like, what kind of energy is that? Definitely it's a bad culture.
All right. T, what you thinking?
No deal. Who cares? The Cowboys have continued to be the Cowboys throughout quarterback changing, coaches changing. Like, they're still the Cowboys have consistently found themselves to be a 6 to 10 win team, no matter who's coaching, no matter who's playing. It's no deal. I thought the Cowboys actually had something last season. They suckered me in. Not this time, baby. No.
Yeah, and you know what? See, I think I'm with you, man. And I'm going no deal, mainly because, like, bruh, it's almost the end of August. We're about to be in preseason football. You're not firing your coach right now, so like, bruh, regardless, he's gonna get this season to prove himself. So why is it really a deal, except for the fact that he said it? Like, if we know Mike McCarthy gonna get this year for sure. They've already been rumbling to Sean Payton, this, that, and third, but like, they're not about to fire this man 3 weeks for the season. So to me, it's no deal.
He would have to go 1-6. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's not gonna happen. So no deal.
All right, let's keep it pushing. Matt Stafford sitting out due to elbow soreness. Big deal or no deal? Let's go with our resident Matt Stafford fan club alumnus representative for the oversight committee. Scruff, what do you think about this Matt Stafford elbow injury, man? You are the biggest Matt Stafford fan I know.
It's kind of a big deal in my opinion. It's a little troubling, honestly, because it's like more like some like pitcher shit. You know, from what I heard, it's not that common of an injury. From what Sean McVay said, he said it's more something like that would happen to a pitcher. So I'm thinking like Tommy John type thing is what I'm thinking. So I don't know. It's more like a tendonitis thing, but that's not what you want to hear going into the season. Now, hey, this is actually perfect setup for you, Rome. He hasn't played this late into the season before. So maybe he's like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Like, he never played this late into the season before. So, you know, I don't know what the level of rest was there, but rest is very important when it comes to the arm. So hopefully he can get that rest in the preseason and make up for them extra couple weeks, because he's not, you know, saying he never played past week 17 before. So that's about 5 extra weeks. So hopefully the next 5 weeks he gets an arm right. Otherwise, you step into that regular season, and you still have tendonitis issues with your arm. It's going to be a poor season. It's going to be an injury plague season potentially. That's the worst way you want to start out. And then Matt Stafford's not the quarterback for the Rams. Lord, I don't know who is, because I don't know who their backup is.
I think I'm in agreement with you right there, man. I think an elbow injury anytime you throw the football is very, very, very big deal. If I'm a fan of that team, let's hope it's not, you know, one of those Tommy John type injuries. Although we've seen baseball players bounce back from that type of thing.
After the surgery,
it takes a year. Yeah, you gotta get the surgery, and it takes a year. So it's almost like an ACL tear of the elbow, basically. Is how I kind of feel about it. But we'll see. Hopefully, Matt Stafford is okay, man. Rome, big deal or no big deal at all for this Matt Stafford elbow injury?
I'm actually going to go no big deal on this one. It is a little bit troubling. Obviously, he's a quarterback. He throws the ball. He's got an elbow injury, right? So that you know, that raises a red flag. But I mean, I'll ask you this: this time last year, do y'all remember Dak Prescott having shoulder issues in camp? Anybody remember that? Exactly. So, you know, it happens. Like Scruff said, maybe my man's just not used to throwing that late into the year. Maybe he needs a little extra rest. McVay is notoriously known for having easy practices and not playing players in preseason, and, you know, taking it as light as possible. So his star quarterback's got a hurt elbow. I'm sure they're gonna take it light and ease him back into it. So I'll go no big deal for now.
All right. And those are some pretty solid reasons. So we'll see if it ends up, you know, becoming something. T, no big deal or no big deal on Matt Stafford's elbow?
Absolutely a big deal. Absolutely right. And I feel like I would have known this a few years ago, but like now I live with a quarterback, and I know like how much the small variables affect not only the mechanics, but like up here, you know, Matt Stafford is a guy that can make every throw on the field. Like, he's known for having an elite arm. So if your arm is troubling and you feel like I have to deliver the ball differently, it's not like Matt Stafford was all like the most safe with the ball. He was a guy that would throw picks and could miss throws already. So I think that's a big deal, man. You know, I got a kid that cares about arm, elbow, shoulder, fingernails, ball grip. We saw Brady care about how much the ball was inflated. When I hear baseball injury, like, that makes my eyebrow raise a little bit. Like, you know, those pitchers, like, similar to a quarterback, their delivery is everything. So if he's not even throwing in team drills, to me that's a big deal, because what's more important than a quarterback than chemistry? Like, quarterbacks work in the offseason with guys to figure out chemistry, how they run their routes. Are we seeing the same things?
Right.
If you're not throwing with the team, I'm a little worried about that. It's a passing offense. It's not like the Rams can run the ball down your throat. So I think it's a big deal.
All right. I can't it's hard for me to disagree with that at all. I think it's a big deal too. Elbow injuries for a quarterback, that's no bueno. All right, keep it pushing though. Joe Burrow missing all of camp after an appendectomy. I'll start
What
with
the hell
this
is
one.
that?
Appendix. He got his appendix
Appendix.
removed.
Yeah.
And I'll start with this one. I think this is no big deal. People get their appendixes removed every day, B. Like literally though. Like every day somebody's complaining of a stomach ache in their side and it ends up being an appendix. I know multiple people this has happened to, and they're able to bounce back in a matter of weeks. Burrow's lucky that this happened during the off season and not during the regular season. Because if it was a regular season thing, it'd be a big deal. So he's gonna be missing 3 games probably to get healthy. But it was perfect timing. As much as an appendectomy can be perfect timing, this was perfect timing for him because I think he'll be ready just in time for the season. T, what you think about this one? Big deal or no deal?
No big deal. Barrow's a young guy. He knows those guys. He knows those receivers. Playing with a guy that he played with in college, like it's not. I think he's fine. Like also, he's surrounded by so many weapons. It'll shake out. You know what I'm saying? No deal at all.
All right, Rome, what you feeling about this one?
Yeah, I'm gonna go no big deal on this one. Kind of like the Matthew Stafford one though. It is a red flag just because he's missing a little bit of time. Something that T said about Matthew Stafford that is huge is the chemistry. So I think that might hurt Burrow a little bit, but I mean it's something that they could get worked out. He's just missing practice time. When he gets there, he'll be full go and he'll be able to make up all the missed time. So no big deal.
Agreed. Scruff, what you think?
It's no big deal at all. I don't even need to explain why.
All right, so we got our first consensus. No big deal. All right, not last one yet. So next one,
That's fine.
we've got Joe Burrow. Oh, I'm sorry. We got New England beat reporters are tweeting that Mac Jones has regressed since his rookie year. Regression from Mac Jones? Scruff, big deal or no big deal?
It's big news, bro. Bro, there's no shot, bro. No shot, bro. No shot I believe that at all. Regress how? And if so, like, what we talking about here, man? What we talking about here? Maybe he had a couple brewskis the night before or something. You know what I'm saying? What we talking about here?
Couple brewskis. He do look like he slugged the brewskis, man.
He definitely looks like he slammed. He definitely takes you as a guy that, like, you take the little poke the little hole in that joint, you drink the joint like this on the side and shit.
The shotgun.
He look like Mac Jones.
He shotgun
brewski vibes for sure, man. That's my guy, but he reminds me of some of them boys we went to college with.
Yeah, he definitely had too many brewskis, maybe. I think he'll be fine come season, though. But, hey, according to, Joe Biden, DUIs are no issue, so he might like Mac Jones a lot. He's got a few of those.
Chill, bro. Chill. Say that for the pre-show. All right, so what are you guys thinking? Wrong, T. I'll start.
I think it's a big deal, but not because of Mac Jones. I think any signs of recession, if he's missing passes in practice, I think that might lean more on them receivers. The Patriots receiving room is not the greatest, to say the least. So I don't know if it's as much on Mac Jones as much as it might just be the overall passing game. And they just lost Josh McDaniels, so things might look a little funky there in training camp for the Patriots. So I'll say big deal, but maybe not because he's of him specifically, just overall for the Patriots is a big deal.
Excellent point, Ron. I think the Josh McDaniel point hits the nail right on the head, man. And I think I literally was going to say that if there's any reason why he's looking like he regressed, it's probably because it's a new play caller and it takes time to get comfortable. He should still be hitting on the plays if it's the same system. But from my understanding, the Patriots have shifted to the Mike Shanahan zone running scheme for the first time with all their playbook being zone runs. So they've been working on that all off season. And it seems like, maybe there's other things that have changed. I don't know. But they are changing things in the offense with the departure of Josh McDaniels. So great point, Ron. And I'm with you. At first, I thought no big deal. But the more I think about it, it's kind of a big deal because, like, how could somebody that showed as much promise as Mac Jones be regressing right now? That doesn't make a ton of sense. Even with the new coordinator, whatever, all you got to really do is pass the ball, right? Like, why are you regressing? I'm a little confused with this. we'll see how it plays out. I think when it's all said and done, it'll end up being no big deal. But if Mac Jones regresses this year, we're going to point to this moment like, damn, they were right.
Yeah.
So right now, it makes me raise my eyebrows a little bit, which is why I'm going to call it a big deal. T, how you feeling about this one?
That's a big deal. Like, when you guys said Josh McDaniels is gone, I thought about it. Who's the offensive coordinator?
They don't have one.
They don't
Yeah.
have. I literally just looked it up, like, because I was curious, like, who's calling plays? You do not have an offensive coordinator and your quarterback is struggling? Duh. Right.
That is bad luck.
Think about it. All right. When we were just to go back, right? We were talking about greatest players, right? Brady's on that list, right? Quarterback out of all the sports, man, that's probably the most everyone else dependent position, right? No matter how great you are as a quarterback, you need an OC, you need a defense, you probably need receiving threats, you might need an offensive line, you might need a running game. Like, there's a reason Brady left to go to Tampa Bay, right? He didn't leave and go to the Bears. He didn't leave and go to the Browns. He left to go to a team that kind of had pieces in place. Bro, you don't have an offensive coordinator? That's a big deal. And that might not even, bro, you're talking about Mac Jones regressing, right? Imagine you hired me as a driver at UPS, Rome, and after year one, I don't have any boss.
You know logistics.
Yeah, so like obviously I might know how to drive, right? But I don't know how to deal with every situation. I don't know how to deal with every variable. All I have is last season to look back on, and last season is not this season. And that's a big deal. I think the Patriots are looking directly at a top 5 draft pick.
Wow.
Ooh,
that'd be crazy.
spicy.
It's almost like if that happens,
that's a good take.
If that happens, that means they severely underrated what Mac Jones' potential when he was going to be this season.
Nah, bro.
Obviously, they're high on him.
I think
not bringing a specialized offensive coordinator just to be with him at all times.
That's important though. Usually the quarterback and the offensive coordinator and the quarterback coach are like fucking like this, bro.
Maybe Bill Belichick calling the plays though. Bro. That would be a crazy legacy if Bill Belichick called the plays and take Mac Jones to
if Bill Belichick is a defensive guy, he starts calling. Oh, that's terrible.
Chill. Bill Belichick got the full circle knowledge of the game, bro.
Trevor Lawrence had a bad coach in Urban Meyer, and it made him look pedestrian. What do you think having no coach makes you look like? Like having no OC.
Good point. It sounds mad weird. It sounds.
We could save this conversation for another time because it's getting late. But like, I think that's a lot of Bill Belichick ego. This whole no OC thing, like you got Brady gone. Now you're gonna take Mac Jones. You're a defensive minded coach, and you don't got an OC. I don't know, man. It seems like a lot of ego.
Bro, he seems like he's just overconfident. Like he just throws some stuff together. Like, oh, it's okay.
Man,
you need certain ingredients. You know what I'm saying? You're starting to skimp out on certain ingredients. Like, oh yeah, I can make the cake without sugar. Like, okay.
Well, I heard at the end of last season, I heard from sources that Bill Belichick was considering calling the plays from the Patriots.
I believe.
And now that he still hasn't hired the OC, I feel like it's becoming more and more likely. And I think you never know though. Bill Belichick treat his coaches the same way he treat the players. Like somebody got to earn that OC job. So he might have somebody that he got in mind, and he's just gonna promote him right before the first preseason game or the last preseason game or whatever. You know what I'm saying? All right, you've been calling the plays in practice the whole time, and you've earned your stripes to this moment the same way I make my players do it. You know, he keep a depth chart for the coaches. That's why he is Bill Belichick. You feel me? He plays no games. So maybe that's what he's doing. But if not, man, I think Bill Belichick go throw the headset on, had a folder and laminates, and be calling the plays himself, and I'll respect it. And that could be another legacy builder for the greatest football coach.
So here's the underestimation though that goes into that though. So I think Bill Belichick's capable of calling plays, but is he capable of nurturing and growing a quarterback the way that a young quarterback needs? I don't know if he could do that.
Well, he watched the best one ever.
This is a bad situation.
He ain't nurture that boy.
All right.
He left.
This is the type of stunt that gets a head coach and the GM fired. If I'm Mac Jones, I'm calling for. I'm not you got to trade me or fire the head coach and the GM. Like, it's crazy.
Good try with that one. Mac Jones will be out of there, and they'd trade his ass. See, that's why the NFL still a little bit different.
That's
the problem. Bill Belichick is KD in this situation. He the one. He to hold all the power. He the GM and the head coach in this situation.
Bro, this is like when you break up with your girl and you expect her to fail, and she come out on top, and now you out here like, watch what I'm about to do.
And you trying to match it. Yeah, we all know a couple folks like that.
That's crazy. Yeah. Oh, she got a car. I'm about to get a house.
You know, or you get a better car. You just try and keep up at that point. You know what that's called? Simping.
I thought it was called keeping up.
It's levels of simping, man.
I thought that was keeping up with the Joneses.
Tom Brady said, "I do not want this head coach." They got rid of him. Bill Belichick said, "I don't want no coordinator." Like, come on, man. Bill Belichick is acting like Irv Gotti.
It's hilarious. Bill Belichick is NFL Irv Gotti, bro.
I mean, it's a alpha mentality to some extent. It's like, okay, I can do it myself. I'm capable of doing it myself. And I can respect that to some extent. But a lot of times, you got to know your strengths and weaknesses. I don't know if you can do that. But if he does, I agree, Bryce. That would be GOAT-like.
It would. All right, well, hey, fellas, we've been going for a minute, but good stuff tonight, man. It's a pretty funny show. I can't wait to watch this one back. Hope all the listeners out there enjoyed the show tonight. If you did enjoy the show tonight, you definitely got to cop the pre-show. Pre-show was wild tonight. You can see us making a lot of references to simping because we broke simping down to a science on the pre-show. So grab that, check it out, comment on that. You know what I mean? Really, really tap in with us. The way to get the pre-show is on Patreon. Check any of our social medias, though. We plugging it daily. So just keep up with us.
So it's on Patreon and it's on Spotify.
Boom. Patreon and Spotify. So rock with your boys. We at GoodAssSports on every social media outlet. And if you are watching on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe and just rock with us. We're here every Tuesday. It's supposed to be 9:30, but it ended up being like 10:15. But that's because we got the pre-show for you guys starting at 9:30 now. So a little change of the schedule. Appreciate everybody for bearing with us on that. And y'all know how we end every show, man. The sports for the culture.
Sports for the culture.